Look at this ladybug. Isn't this pretty? Hey y'all, so in this video, we are going to talk about the vegetables that you should be planting in May. Now, I am only going to be talking about the vegetables that I'm growing in my garden. And I have a good variety for you. I have a good list. So I know there's plenty more vegetables that can be planted in May, depending on the zone that you are in. But I'm only going to be going over the vegetables that are in my garden. And by the way, I'm new to gardening and I am in zone 8A. So these are the vegetables that you should be planting in May. So the first one we're going to be talking about is okra. I have one right there, and the back one is a little smaller. And then I have an okra plant in this container, which I sowed the seeds just a few days ago. And then I have another one in this container. And by the way, these are marigolds that I'm companion planting with the okra. So I have a total of 4 okra plants that I'm growing, y'all. Oh, actually, I have another one over here. I forgot about this one. So I have a total of 5 okra plants that I'm growing. And these okra plants are 2.5 months. So I did start them indoors and I transferred them outside maybe a few weeks ago because the temperature was warmed up. Okra thrive in heat. I had them indoors for some time and then I transfer them outdoors once the nighttime temperature was steadily in the 60s. But okra is a good plant to grow in May because they love warm soil, and May gives it a strong start for summer harvest. You can direct sow them or you can transfer your seedlings. Like if you started them indoors, like I did, you can begin transferring them outside, like right now. Okay. The second crop that you can grow in May is going to have to be bush beans. So I have a total of 2 bush beans. So I have one in this grow bag next to my cucumber seedlings. And I started the bush beans, let's see, March 30th, so the end of March. This one is about a month old, okay? Bush beans love warm soil and they grow very quick. You can harvest them between 50 and 60 days. So you can start direct sowing them. They don't transplant well. It's best to just direct sow them. So bush beans would be next on the list. Now, speaking of cucumbers, that would be the next one on the list. It's going to be warm in May, so it helps to speed up the growth and the flower production for cucumbers. And yeah, so direct sow them this month. They don't transplant well, so the best thing would be to direct sow. I did direct sow these 2 seedlings, and I direct sowed them about 3 weeks ago. So they are 3 weeks old. I do have a total of 6 cucumber plants. So these are the 2 new seedlings. The other ones are over here. And these one, I know I mentioned that they don't transplant well, but I have 4 in this 45-gallon container that I did start indoors. And these are about 3 months old. And look at how they've just completely taken over the trellis, y'all. So I built a trellis in the middle of the container. So I put 2 poles and then just kind of made a trellis thingy in the middle. And the pole is about this height. Hold on one second. I don't know if you can see. Okay, so this is how tall the pole is. But as you can see, I had to extend it because they're getting taller. So this is how the cucumbers are looking. And cucumbers are great to start in May, especially for these warm temperatures. I am starting to see some cucumbers. I don't know if you guys can see. We have some over here. We have, I have been trying to stay on top of my hand pollination. You can see one over here. So they're coming along. Cucumbers would have to be a plant that you can start in May. There goes a bush bean right here. The next crop that you can begin in May would have to be tomatoes. Now, y'all, I have a total of, well, over here, I have a total of 6 tomatoes. This is my first time growing tomatoes. I did cut out a couple of suckers. So I have one of the tomato suckers here. This one was planted, okay, so that one was planted April 21st. So it's about a couple weeks old. So that will make a total of 7 tomato plants. I do have another sucker that's growing in water that I submerged in water indoors. It's inside. So I'm just waiting for the roots to come out before planting it. So altogether, I will have a total of 8 tomato plants, y'all. 8. So yeah, tomatoes would be a great plant to start in May. I have 3 different varieties that I'm growing. I'm growing beefsteak, I'm growing large cherry tomatoes, and I'm also growing the Roma tomatoes. All right. But the weather in May does encourage strong growth and fruiting. As you can see, some of my tomatoes have already started fruiting. Let me see if I can find one. So you see how they're already starting to fruit. These were started indoors about 3 months ago, and then I transferred them outside about a month ago. And yeah, tomatoes would be next on the list. Now, the next on the list would be peppers. I am growing 2 varieties. I'm growing jalapeno peppers. So these are 2 jalapeno peppers. I'm also growing sweet bell peppers. So I have one over here and I have another sweet bell over here. So peppers would be a crop that you can start in May as well, because again, the month is warm enough for the pepper roots to thrive and to flower quickly. As you can see, some of them, are starting to flower. I don't see any flowers in this one yet. It is getting tall, but I don't see any flowers in it. But with my sweet bell peppers, you can see they are starting to flower as well. So yeah, peppers would be on the list as well. All right, and then the next on the list would have to be basil. Now, y'all, I don't know what's going on with my basil. I have no idea what's going on with my basil. I started my basil about 2.5 months ago, and I don't know what's going on with it. You see how like the leaves are just drooping. I mean, I did fertilize them, and they're very pale. Like the green color is very pale. The leaves are not looking so great. I planted some basil next to my tomatoes as well. So this is how the basil next to my tomatoes are looking. They're looking the same way. You see how the bottom leaves are just kind of drooping down. I don't know what's going on with them. This is my first time growing basil. This is my first time growing most of the vegetables that you see in my garden. So if you guys can give me some tips, let me know in the comments. But basil is another plant that you guys can grow. This month is ideal for lush foliage before flowering sets in. Yeah, you can sow the seeds right now because this is the perfect month. So the next on the list is green onions. Now these are green onions from scraps, from kitchen scraps, but you can grow them from seed, and this month would be ideal. They do well in warm weather. So green onions would be next on my list to grow in May. So that is it, y'all. I hope you all found this video informative and helpful. Look at this ladybug. Isn't this pretty? I am new to gardening, y'all. If I can do all of this, those of you who are newbie, do not be intimidated. Start your garden right now. And there's just a plethora of vegetables that you can grow. If you found this video helpful, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Don't forget to check out my previous video, and I will see you all in the next one.